Hi there. When prophecy is used as a tool for manipulation, control, rebellion, and critical judgment, as believers, we need to understand the distinction between getting the word of the Lord and getting a word of confirmation. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. By the mouth of two or three witnesses, every word shall be established. In many instances, God uses others to confirm things He has already told you. Some ministers or church leaders are control enthusiasts and have a problem with being manipulative. They are likely to misuse the gift of prophecy to dictate as orders from God to the followers under them. In the name of spiritual revelation, they can dictate to their followers where to live, when to move, which job they must get, or whom they should marry. God has never appointed certain church leaders to straighten out everybody else through their spiritual ministry. The gift of prophecy was never intended to judge doctrinal or disciplinary matters. On the other hand, some believers are rebellious and will begin to prophesy in places other than those their church leadership has sanctioned as appropriate. They will draw other believers away from the oversight of the local assembly leadership to outside meetings and prophesy strange things to them. In the Pentecostal charismatic movement, many prayer groups and unstructured meetings ended up breaking themselves away from the local church assembly. Some of the splits were inevitable. Those who broke away were new wineskins in which the Holy Spirit poured out the new wine that old wineskins could not contain. But there must also be factions among you, that those who are approved may be recognized among you. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 9. But many other groups were just rebellious and immature groups who wanted to do their own thing without any oversight or accountability. When confronted by spiritual authority and oversight, this group of believers simply says, God told me. They'll simply produce as evidence several other prophecies given to themselves or by others of like mind that endorse their group or ministry. This may also be a growing trend in the prophetic movement, where personal prophecy will be used as a tool to justify rebellious factions and groups. True prophecy exists and is spoken to an individual, church, or nation. God intends to accomplish that prophecy at some point in that person's life or nation, and not necessarily on the following day, week, month, or year. Many promises of God take time to be fulfilled. It is common that when a believer receives true personal prophecies about their calling, vocation, or life situation, they'll often misunderstand God's dealings and run out to try to fulfill the prophecy in their own strength and time frame. Others have rushed into business contracts based on a personal prophecy without factoring in many other variables. The result has been broken contracts, bankruptcies, and ruined lives. Among the greatest dangers and abuses in the prophetic movement are people who operate under a critical or negative spirit. They presumptuously feel that it is their role to police other believers into good behavior or holiness as prophets or prophetesses. They have an entitlement feeling that they can blast entire congregations or individual believers for living in sin using the platform of prophecy while implying that they themselves are the true standard for God's righteousness. It is a wonder that believers with a critical or judgmental spirit seem to gravitate towards the prophetic ministry. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 20 to 22. But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet shall die. And if you say in your heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord has spoken? When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the thing does not happen or come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord has not spoken. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. You shall not be afraid of him. A negative spirit is condemning and bitter, and as a result, it is fruitless. It operates in the realm of emotions and uses the prophetic ministry to manipulate and control people. Be blessed.